Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate your time. Your time is valuable. So let's get right to it. My name is Alex. I'm actually a co-founder of VidSwap.com. I started this company 15 years ago, so we've been at this a really long time. So I started this company in 2006, and in 2019, we were acquired by Pixellot. And myself, I was a college football player. I played arena football for a number of years, and I was an offensive coordinator for about 15 years. And so now I am the VP of Analytics for Pixellot. So our mission is to save coaches over 150,000 hours this year. The reason I started this company 15 years ago was I wanted to help coaches be more productive. I want to help you save time. I want to help you revolutionize the way that you're using video even more than you are now. And most importantly, I want to help you keep it affordable. I don't want to have you take out a second mortgage to pay for another video service. Now, how am I going to do this? I'm going to do it by completely automating as much of this for you as I can. The more that I can automate, the more that I can take out of your hands, the easier that this is going to be. Because as coaches, we all know you're creatures of habit, right? And the easier that I can make it for you, the easier that you're going to be able to pick it up, change what you're doing, the easier it is to be able to ask your coaches to change, your athletes to change. And it's got to be fast. It's got to fit into your daily workflow because we all wear multiple hats. You're wearing multiple hats as a mother, a father, an administrator, a teacher. Maybe you work another business, a coach. So you've got all these things going on, and it's got to be able to fit into your workflow of how you're doing things so that you can get more done. Time is our most valuable asset. We just don't have enough of it, right? So I want to give you back your time so you can be more productive. And so what are we talking about? We're really talking about three core problems that we're solving. The main one is solving the coaching analytics aspect of video. So using our Pixellot cameras that are installed all over the country and all over the world, we're going to automate how your games and practices are being filmed. So we're going to automate that, okay, for you, so nobody has to film it. You don't have to have a guy up there, a girl, or somebody moving a camera around. Okay, it's going to automatically film the whole field, the whole pitch, the whole court. It's going to upload into your VidSwap account automatically, so you don't have to film and upload that yourself. And then inside of that 4 to 8 hour window, we're going to break that down in depth with all of your team and player situations. You've also got some self-coding ability, so you can edit video on your own within your whole staff. You don't have to pay extra licenses to do that. And then we've got some live coding abilities too. We also solve that broadcasting problem, being able to easily broadcast up to any OTT, to our Pixellot OTT, to maybe others that you're using. Maybe it's the NFHS network, right? And you don't have to have a camera operator, and it integrates right in with the scoreboard and any color commentary. And then thirdly, video replay. So coaches being able to use video on our iPads during a game, on the bench, or potentially officials using it to be able to reverse calls from the game. And this supports multiple angles and really a powerful tool that you can use during game. So we've got some fixed and mobile setups, but generally our Pixellot cameras are fixed on your fields and inside of your venues, and they stay there, and then they're automatically filming the action for practices and games. So one of the most common questions that we get is, okay, Alex, if we use you guys, can I still share video with other teams, other coaches that maybe aren't on VidSwap. And you absolutely can. You can use our email feature to send links to anybody that you want to send it to. And you can set permissions on those links. So maybe only video is sent, or maybe video with statistics, or you can limit how long a link will last. And then people on other services, they can download games and send links to you that you can upload into your VidSwap account as well. Now, what I want you to imagine when we talk about automating the exchange and sharing process, imagine now that as Pixellot cameras are getting installed all across the country and all across the world for your particular league or conference or district, imagine going into any field, into any stadium, into any court, and your game is going to be automatically filmed no matter where you go, right? So imagine a future where every game, every practice is automatically filmed by our Pixellot cameras, and you don't have to do anything. Then we can automate the exchange for all of you sports who are exchanging video like football, potentially basketball teams, and many others. We can automate that process so nobody has to do anything. We can take the human element out of manually filming and uploading and sharing video. All of it can be completely automated. So I can see any game in my conference, any team I'm scouting, as well as all of the information and statistics on all of those games. A pretty powerful scenario. We also have an unlimited storage policy. So you can upload all your games, all your videos, and not have to worry about any limits on having all of your games with you throughout the many years that you plan on being with us. Now let's run through a handful of our sports that we're breaking down so you can see it. So here's a great example of basketball. So imagine a basketball game is getting filmed automatically by our cameras, getting uploaded. You're going to wake up the next morning, and then you can start clicking into any situation that you want to look at, any shot situation, any set play, out of bounds, any sort of team and player scenario that you want to pull up. And you can just, with a click of a button, pull those up and then start to select plays you want to pull out, and then maybe send to individual players to teach them much faster. So you're going to wake up that next morning and get to a point of being able to teach your players much faster than you've ever been able to do before. So again, I want to give you your time back. Here's a slide on some of the data that we're doing in basketball. So we're going to break everything down by period and quarter, all the possessions by team, the set play, the out of bounds plays, the transition second chances, all the defense, okay, all the shot situations by team, the player, the result, the description, the defender, the locations, all the rebounding, the assists, the turnovers, steals, blocks, fouls, who's playing, jump balls, and then we're going to create box score statistics and advanced stats on all of these situations. Okay, that's our basic level that we do out of the box for everybody. Now for our advanced level, right, the higher up levels, I want to spend a little bit more money, get more in depth. We'll then also tag the individual plays of these, chart the teams, the athletes, and the locations of all of these that are happening throughout a game. Now football is certainly a bread and butter for us. That's my background. It's where we started 15 years ago. And we support all the features that a football coach expects. So you can see here that game's going to be broken down with a base set of information. I can click on the headers here and start filtering for any time a team had an offensive play inside the red zone, any down and distance situation, right? Any combination of different things that I want. And we support the multiple angles. Here you just saw me toggling between a sideline and an end zone, and we'll intercut that for you. So we support the multiple angles that you're going to film and then upload into the system. And then we also have tendency reports. So when you have a multi-game filter up of maybe 3 or 4 games, I can click on my data reports here and pull up pivot charts that show me maybe how many times certain plays are being run against certain formations. So you can see those in-depth tendencies on what's happening, what a team is doing. Here's all the data that we're doing in football. So we're tagging everything by quarter, the possessions, the ODK, the down the distance zone, the yard line, the field zone, the hash, the formation, and we do it by numbering. We all, as coaches, know what 2x2s and 1x1s and 3x0s are. All the play types, including screen, the gain zones, the results, touchdowns, penalties, and we tag all the players on every play. And then we're also evaluating how we can be charting on a play chart, right? A play card, excuse me. The play result, formations, fronts, coverages. That's something we're looking into doing too. Here's soccer. Soccer is another bread and butter for us. We probably do more soccer games than any other sport. And so imagine a soccer coach, right? You've got 90 minutes of a match, probably one of the most difficult of any of the sports to really be able to use. Now you can wake up, pull up any shot on goal scenario, any free kicks, corners, anytime you're on the attack, all these different types of soccer scenarios at the click of a button that you want to pull up and use. Okay. And here's all the data that we tag in soccer. We do everything by period, the possession, the transition, all the different set plays, corners, free kicks, throw-ins, goal kicks, by team, player, result. We chart those. The ball position, where it is on the field, by thirds. All the shots by goals, shots on goals, wides, blocks, teams. We chart those both on the field and on the net. We tag all the clearances, the fouls, all the cards, offsides, and aerial duels. And then when we do advanced level, for our higher levels, we're also tagging sequences by teams. We chart pass strings. We're tagging passing to and from the athletes by teams, the length, the type, the directions. We'll chart those. The interceptions, blocks, the dribbles, the tackles, and then we'll also put all of those touches by players on one touch row, so you can look at just every time a player touched the ball and then all the minutes played. Volleyball, we tag all the different situations in volleyball that coaches want, so you can pull up every time a player had a kill, an attack, every rotational situation. So maybe every time you had an attack when you were in a row 3. We tag everything by rally. All those individual team and player situations you want to be able to pull up. Again, you've got at a click of a button. You also can upload a baseline shot too. So a lot of volleyball coaches prefer that baseline shot. You can upload that and use that too if you don't like to use maybe the side shot that you're getting from a Pixellot camera. Here's all the data that we tag in volleyball. So everything by match set, all the rallies of who was serving, who won, the serve-receive rotation, all the individual actions. So the serves by team, result, player. We also grade these and chart those. We tag all the passing and digging by teams, players, results, and we grade the passes. All the sets, again, teams, players, results, all the attacks, kills. We chart kills, blocks, and free balls. And then when we do advanced volleyball, we chart everything about all of the passing, the digging, the sets, the blocks, attacks. All of those are charted visually. Hockey, again, tagging all the different hockey situations that you can use. Wake up, pull up any sort of PK situations, every time you had a shot on goal, any chance, every time you had the puck in your offensive zone, all your face-offs, all those hockey situations you want to be able to pull up, you've got, again, at the click of a button. When we tag hockey, we do everything by period, all the face-offs, tagging teams, athletes, the result of that, where the puck is on the ice by thirds, all the zone entries, all the shots, everything about a shot, goals, shot on goals, wide block, chances, the team, the athlete, the result. We chart where the shot is on the field, on the ice, and then on the net. And then we tag breakouts and forechecks, team result, all the PPs, PKs by the team, the result, and then the penalty minutes, and then the strength. Are you in a 5-on-5, 5-on-4, 5-on-3, and so forth? And then when we do advanced in hockey, we have to have a Pixellot camera with a panoramic shot, because you hockey coaches know that we have to be able to see that full ice of when certain players are skating on and off for substitutions. So then we can actually tag your lines, your D pairs, and then give you the time on ice and plus minus and all those kind of things that you guys like. We tag lacrosse, so you can pull up any lacrosse situation, and we differentiate between boys and girls, men's and women's. So you can pull up any face-off draws, all of the times you're on the attack, your clears, your rides, your man-up, man-downs, shots on goals, free position shots, ground balls, cost turnovers, all those things you want to use. Here's the data that we tag. Again, periods, face-off draws, attacks, clears, rides, all the shot situations, shot charts on the field, on the net, man up, man down, ground balls, turnovers, and playing. So you're starting to see a pattern here of a lot of the stuff we do. It carries over to a lot of the other sports. We do field hockey. So if you have field hockey, we tag and break down field hockey so you can pull up all those different field hockey situations, okay, that you can use. I'll show you we do everything by period, when you're in the offensive zone on the attack, the transition, all the set plays for corners, free hits, hit-ins, all those. When you're on the outlet, okay, by team, all the shot scenarios, results, players, the shot charts on the field, on the net, fouls, and playing. And then we do baseball and softball. So imagine being able to film your baseball game. We do support multiple angles. We've got some camera kits that kind of allow you to film up to 2 and 4 and 6 different angles around a baseball field. If you're interested in being able to do that, that's always a struggle for baseball coaches, is getting those multiple angles around and then syncing them in. We can help you do that. And then we chop up the game into pitch by pitch, so you can look at any situation by pitcher, batter hand, all those things, pull them up and use it. We also have a strike zone simulator that you can superimpose on the video as you watch it here. So here's an example of, we'll skip ahead here. There we go. Here's an example of me putting on a superimposed strike zone that you can use. Maybe you're teaching framing with catchers. Okay, that kind of thing there. Here's all the data that we're tagging in baseball and softball. So the inning, the team at bat, the pitcher, the batter, the pitcher and batter hands, the counts, the outs, the base position, the result, the hit type, RBIs, the type of stat that maybe happened, the pitch location chart, and then in the event that you have other data sources, we can also integrate in pitch speeds, exit speeds, pitch type, all that. Now, what I want you to imagine is you wake up the next morning and now you need to start teaching and engaging your players. So one of our most used features is our review feature. So this is that ability to pull out 10 plays and then send it directly to your quarterbacks, right? Or to Johnny or Jill or a group of players that you really want to target, because we all know that players just don't really know how to watch video. So the smaller, more edible bites I can give them, the more effective it is. And then I have a chat thread inside of this that I can go back and forth with the player, have that dialogue just like we might have on the board. And then I can add in illustrations here, spotlights, different additional visual tools to point out what I'm trying to teach these players. And then best of all, at the completion of these reviews, I have a report here. So if I skip ahead, this is a report on every review that shows me how much my players are looking at these, so I can keep them accountable and measure, again, what they know and don't know. So when they come back to practice the next day, we can get more accomplished in practice and not waste time. So when we pull plays out, we can also make highlights, right? I can take those highlights, I can add those illustrations that we just talked about, adding circles and arrows and changing different colors and dashed and dotted lines, adding spotlights, adding text on the video. All those different types of things I might want to use to teach something about what I'm trying to show. And then as a player, an athlete, they can use this to pull out their best plays, to spotlight themselves, so that way then they can send this off to college coaches or pro coaches to get scouted. Here's an example of a hockey game where I've got a progression of different illustrations showing maybe a breakdown that happened on this goal or something that the players need to see here. Now, once you pull these plays out, you'll be able to create a professional highlight package that's got really fancy, nice graphics on it, looks polished, and then you'll be able to share this on social media, send it off to a college, a pro coach, and it looks really nice. This is kind of a silly highlight. Now we have a self-editing tool that all of your coaches can use. So you don't have to have multiple licenses to be able to do editing. We have a timeline-based editor for all of our flow-based sports like soccer and basketball and hockey and all of those, right? So you can use the timeline to code custom things, custom clips that you want to be able to pull out on your own, maybe for practice or games or scout games that you want to get more out of. If we go back to this here, I'll mention that for football, a sport like that, you can also custom add in your own columns, your own formations, your own play calls, play comments, player grading, all that custom data that football coaches typically like to do, you can add in. Maybe you're a soccer coach and you want to do player touches. Right? Maybe you don't want to pay us to do player touches for you, but you can go in and you can use the editor here to start tagging and coding player touches. We have a playbook for all sports, so this isn't just for football, but every sport can use our playbook to be able to draw up plays, make scout cards, make playbooks for offense, defense, special teams, draw up corners, set plays, draw up formations. All of those different sports can be using this, okay? And we do have an integration with Fast Model that Fast Model users in basketball will be able to pull clips into their Fast Model account to use with their play drawings. We create shot charts on all of our sports so you can see 3 different views of visualizing this data. So our regions of where shots and points are being scored from, the color-coded plot chart, and then a heat map version. We create statistics on teams and players for the box scores as well as advanced analytics. And you can look at these per game or cumulatives. One of our new features coming out is a automated stat and highlight leaderboard. So what this means is when we do entire conferences, entire districts, entire states, all those games we're breaking down will automatically create these leaderboards of athletes and teams in all the different categories. And then you'll be able to click on these stats to view those top highlight plays as well. And this will be delivered through an API that can be plugged into any school, team, league website, or through a widget that can be embedded on those pages. We've got a full suite of mobile apps, iOS and Android, and they are native apps, which means I can use these offline. I don't have to be connected to the internet to be able to play this back and use it. Here's an example of using the app so you can see I'm in it. The top right, I can click on it and I can pull a filter up. Maybe we'll do all of LA's set plays. So now I can watch these set plays. I can pause the video, double tap, pinch to zoom in. I can change my frame around. I can slow it down, change the frame again. Okay, continue to watch. I can then zoom back out, and I can draw on screen with my finger also. And then I can go back up to the filter, I can change it, maybe look at another scenario that we want to use. And I can take this iPad, I can plug it into a projector, maybe do an AirPlay to an Apple TV and do a film session from the iPad. As a player, I can also click on the stars and I can pull highlights out that I want to create and then send off to a scout. Here's an example of baseball in the app as well. And again, with what's great about baseball and softball is we support the multiple angles around a field that a lot of coaches really like to get. And we can do that through our camera kits that you can use. There I'm zooming in. I can slow the video down, take a look at maybe a pitcher's action, arm action here. And then I can toggle to a different view if I want to. I can draw on screen. So here we see I'm toggling to a different view there. I can look at the side, this closed view of a pitcher, zoom in, maybe take that side profile shot of his arm action. I can then toggle to maybe the batter here and take a look at what he's doing, maybe some technique of the catcher. Toggle to the closed side of the batter. And then maybe the wide shot. Now, we do have a great replay product, and this replay product, as you can see, is used by all of our sports. Here we've got some football coaches using it in the middle of a game, and I want you to notice that this is in a really crowded stadium here, an arena, where there's a lot of heavy interference. And so our system was designed to be able to handle being in high interference type areas. So you can use multiple different angles that are feeding into the iPad that you can pull up and use during the game. And it's can be used by really multiple sports. So it's not just football, but basketball teams can use it. Here's an example of we were at a conference tournament where the officials were coming over using the iPad to then potentially reverse calls or keep it on. Here's an example of hockey coaches using it. They're on the bench with an iPad with how much shifting is going on. They like to use it to make adjustments, to show players their mistakes or maybe things that need to happen. And this is one of our 3-camera hockey kits where they've got a camera up top and then they've got a camera behind each goalie that's mounted up on the glass. So here's a look at some of the different replay and camera systems that we have. So this is what we call a 3-point replay system. Typically our football, our outdoor field setup where we've got 1 point up top here that is connected into either the Pixellot camera, so the school network that's getting the Pixellot feed potentially, or maybe a camcorder or an iPad's filming. And then another point in the end zone that has an end zone camera plugged into it, maybe via HDMI or maybe one of our IP cameras. And then a third point on the sideline to give Wi-Fi much closer to the coaches on the field so they don't run the risk of having any dropouts because of interference around the field. Here's a 2-point system. So this is typically a 1-camera type shoot on an outdoor field where maybe, again, the sideline's really far away, or maybe in like a big stadium type area where we've got maybe a Pixellot camera up top plugged in or a camcorder or an IP cam or an iPad. And then we've got a Wi-Fi hotspot down on the sideline, again, making sure that the coaches are as close to a hotspot as possible, reducing any issues with interference. And then we have our 1-point system, which will be our installed system, where with all of our Pixellot units, at some point moving forward, we'll have access points that coaches will be able to walk in, connect to, and then be able to pull up the replay directly from the Pixellot camera itself, to be able to pull up both the produced shot and the panoramic view, no matter what game they're looking at or what event's going on during the game, as well as maybe if it's during practice. So imagine being able to walk into practice and then you're pulling up the feed from practice, looking at a past drill or something that you can show and teach your players from. So that's it, everybody. I really appreciate your time. We covered a lot of really good stuff. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, contact us, or set up a demo with us. We can take you through it, talk about some of the ins and outs, learn more about you. But that's the thing, is we want to learn about what you guys need, how we can help you, because we want to really help save you guys time. I want to give you guys back time, help you be more productive so that you can get more done throughout the day, throughout the week, hopefully win more games, and just really be a great coach in teaching your players and just getting more out of them. So thank you. Again, my name is Alex. You can contact us, alex@vidswap.com, or if you go to the website, you can click on the schedule a demo with us and learn more.